Evening, everybody. Icy here. I'm going to talk about our elected representatives and their failure to speak out against the death of children in Israel. Talib Rashid, Ilhan Omar, both were asked for their views in regards to this horrendous, horrific action by Hamas. Both have refused to say a single word, but both have had postings that were almost immediately pulled down because they were offensive. Yet Talib Rashid, she's having a Palestinian flag sit in front of her office in Congress. I'm sorry, but you represent the United States, not Palestine. If you want to represent Palestine, resign your position, move there. You won't be missed. Trust me. You people in D.C., both sides of the aisle, Republican, Democrat, I don't give a damn. When you get elected, whether you are a Democrat or a Republican, you have to represent both sides of your parties when you are in D.C. You get elected by Democrats, you still have to represent Republicans. Whether you like it or not, you have to respect their views as well. Because don't forget, if you're in Congress, you're only there for a couple of years. If you're in the Senate, a couple more years on top of that. But you can be removed. So you have to respect the views of both sides, both political parties, when you're in D.C. And most of you do not do that anymore. It's very one-sided, very partisan, especially among the people called the Squad. You were elected to represent your districts. You don't represent anyone except for the radicals that support you. I have yet to see any of you speak up in favor of the non-Democrat voters in your district. And you are definitely not speaking up for the main political views of this entire country. This country was attacked on 9/11. This country does not like sneak attacks. This country was attacked in Pearl Harbor that got us into World War II. You do not want to attack the United States again, because whoever does, it will be hell on earth for you and your supporters. Now, we have administrators under this Biden administration that have allowed 9 million plus illegals into our country. We now have attacks by Hamas on Israel. Hezbollah has joined the fight against Israel. We have a war between Russia and Ukraine. We have China causing stress in the South Asian waters. China is causing problems with the Philippine country. It's making Vietnam leery, as well as Cambodia, Laos. It has also expressed repeatedly that it plans on getting back the island of Taiwan. In 1949, 47, 49, I can't remember, the people that are living in Taiwan fled mainland China because they did not want to live under communist rule. They called themselves the Republic of China. They changed it because of China, mainland China, crying all the time, and because of politicians. They signed a one China policy with China saying that the Republic of China can't call itself that no more, which is why it's now called Taiwan. Foolish politicians always cause problems for everybody else. Why? Because they look after themselves, not the whole picture. Needless to say, we have stress and threat levels increased throughout the Asian waters because of China, Ukraine, now Israel. And you have to look at what's happening here in this country here. 9 million plus illegals. How many people were on the terror watch list that were caught? How many people you do not know where they are? Out of that 9 million plus, 85 to 90% of them were young military age males. You don't know who they are. They could give the Border Patrol any kind of a story saying they came from any place, and yet you don't know who they are. They could be troops from Venezuela, troops from Cuba. You have no clue because you never secured our border. Now our country is in jeopardy. You've had multiple food processing plants over the last few years be targeted and destroyed. You've had China flying spy balloons over top of U.S. missile sites and military bases. You have China buying up farmland adjacent to U.S. military bases. You have Chinese illegals coming in across the Canadian border in greater numbers than recorded before. You had a Chinese police station, two of them, found in a couple of U.S. cities that were located within Chinatowns. You had a chemical plant that was associated with China discovered in the United States. When are you people going to wake up? When are you going to stop listening to these brain dead, kiss my ass politicians and start demanding that they do what you want them to do? Secure our country, period. It's going to come down to this. It's going to come down to American citizens getting tired of the BS, hunters, and just remember, we are millions of hunters. And on top of being hunters, we are also millions of snipers. Because if you could shoot a deer while it's running down the road or through the woods, guess what? You could shoot a terrorist. It's going to come down to us having to repel these invaders. It's going to come down to us sweeping these people out of our cities and our towns and driving them back down south. It's going to come to this. I hate to say that, but this is what it is going to come to. Because Democrat politicians are defunding the police. Police are putting in their papers to retire at greater numbers than ever before. No one wants to be a police officer. Those people that are police officers are having to do their work with their hands tied behind their back while the criminals are running around scot-free. You've got politicians. A good example, New York State. They got shot down on their attempts to stop the Second Amendment. So what they did was now they targeted the ammunition in New York State. Now you have to jump through hoops and take you a month just to buy a couple boxes of ammo just to go out target shooting. They are trying to take away our guns and our right to defend ourselves, because if you can defend yourself, they can't control you. And this is what's happening. Now, we have all those people being killed in Israel. What are you going to do as U.S. citizens if that crap starts happening here? Are you going to roll over and just beg for mercy, or are you going to stand up and fight? It's already been proven that out of 10 people, only 2, maybe 3 at the most, will fight back. The rest are going to cower and run away. This is what our country has come to. We have gone from being respected and feared around the world to being the laughing stock of every nation on this planet because of woke culture, liberal values, progressive values. No. This country is on the verge of disappearing because, and I'm going to blame myself, myself and people my age, we let the kids get soft. We weren't hard on the kids. We didn't demand certain things by the educators. We let them run wild. And this is what's happening to us because of our own inaction as adults and parents. I hope, I pray that things don't get worse in this country. But if it does, it's going to be bloody. And the problem is you're not going to know who you're going to be fighting. Because there's no uniforms on your enemy. Could be your next door neighbor. Could be the kid down the street. You don't know. And this is what we're going to be facing. So when you get a chance, thank the politicians and say thank you for putting a gun to our head because you want to live more comfortably with the money you scammed from the taxes. Icy out.